What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with another Lucky Dip. And this is another one from the creator of this deep dive, Philip. Big shout out to you. And indeed, if you hear the rain outside, it is actually pouring throughout all of Southern California right now. So that will be a notable feature in the reaction batch that I'm doing tonight. Nevertheless, we are going to listen to a tune by Younger Brother, and this is so long overdue, it's ridiculous. And the fact that this was in the Lucky Dip folder was very serendipitous. Now, what we're dealing with here is two people I know from a different sonic and musical world, one of which is royalty in that world. We're talking Simon Posford and also Benji Vaughn to a lesser extent, but Simon Posford, Hallucinogen, one half, and the real production half of Spangle. Now, I've mentioned before, Spangle, it's not really my thing. It's mostly, it started as sort of a psytrance, like an experimental psytrance project. It's morphed into more of like a world music, ambient, but still with a bit of psy flavor project over the decades. And it's Simon Posford mixed with Roger Ram, Ron Rothschild, I think. Well, I forget his surname, but he was in Quintessence a long time ago, and then he went on the hippie trail and became a psytrance label boss and, performer, DJ. In any case, Simon Posford as Hallucinogen, and that's the name that, for me, he is most interesting under. Again, he's like royalty in the world of psytrance and Goa. His label Twisted is one of the classic, 90s Goa labels. And yeah, his early albums, I have The Lone Deranger, which is the second one. The first album, Twisted, is the name of the album as well. That's regarded as like an absolutely seminal Goa trance release. Lone Deranger, which came after it, I think is even better, and I'm, again, lucky enough to have that on vinyl. But the point is, he's like just hugely popular for those tracks, but he eventually went away from the Hallucinogen label and again leaned more heavily into Spangle, and I think he was part of some other things. But I was aware that there was some group he was part of called Younger Brother, because I remember when I was talking about being into Psybient and downtempo and so on, someone mentioned to me that, oh, have you ever heard Younger Brother? It has vocals and it's a bit different, but it's Simon Posford and it has these downtempo ambient vibes. I was like, oh, do tell. And it was always a group I meant to check out, but the way things go, you find some things, and some things you immediately fall into and you get distracted, and it's like I never got around to it. So when I saw this in the Lucky Dip folder, it was like, oh my gosh, I've always wanted to hear this. Now, Benji Vaughn, I mentioned, another psytrance producer, has shown up on releases on Simon's Twisted label. So both of these are two of the artists, and I think, is it a four-person group? My understanding is that it was a four-person group. Maybe I'm wrong. But two of them I do know, through my own musical interest, going back to the Goa trance parties of the 90s, which I mentioned before. Goa trance, it's like the first rave genre that I encountered, because my older brother was into it, and he took me to my first couple raves. Which, the early Goa tunes I heard, that's how I found the acid sound, which has, become my lifelong musical obsession, as you can see here. In any case, let's hear this. This is Younger Brother, and the tune is, make sure I have this right, is it Spinning? Yeah, I think it's Spinning into Place. Yeah, Spinning into Place. So here we go. This is Younger Brother. I don't know what era this is from. I do believe they have multiple albums, so I'll see, if I get any sense based on the sonics. But here we go, Younger Brother, Spinning into Place. Already it sounds like a Solar Fields track. Like the wood quality of the knock-knock at the end of the percussive riff. would be giving a standing ovation. I want to make you look at my torso. But yeah, it's just amazing, brilliant. And I'm back again. I apologize. Shortly after the song ended, apparently the video cut out. I talked for like 3 minutes, so when I realized that it cut out that quickly, I was annoyed. Nevertheless, I'll try to be a bit more concise here. I will just say that it's an amazing, beautiful, rich, and luscious tune. Very consonant and inviting, which it's funny because I did a reaction to a different Lucky Dip just before this, sent by a friend of the channel, Mark, that was very frightening and intense and uncomfortable even. So this was a really interesting contrast, and I guess, again, it's sort of the beauty of the Lucky Dips is on some level. Like here, I knew a bit of what I was going into just based on my own musical history, but I do like that I go into these things with very little knowledge and certainly, no experience of listening to any of the tunes that I've done in the Lucky Dips. And so that, I never really know where we're going, and the fact that I've been to two very different places just in the last like 20 minutes is I think very indicative of what the Lucky Dip folder or playlist now is. So again, big shout out to Philip and to Mark and all those who've sent me one-off or like compilations of things where they're just a bunch of different artists. I appreciate the patience. I will get to everything. But yeah, a really cool tune. It makes me sad that I've known about Younger Brother this long and just failed to really check them out, knowing who Simon Posford is and the way I feel about his music, Benji Vaughn as well. But the vocals, I mean, it sounded like an Ultime track. Ultime meaning the French like Sybient ambient label, which a lot of the like big heavyweights in that genre have put out albums or releases on. But it felt like a tune from that label mixed with like a Keen song or a group that makes really like rich pop music with like a really great voice. So it felt like the coming together of those things. So, but with a bit of sonic atmosphere where you can tell maybe some people involved have a history in working in like underground electronic music. Some of the bass line work, some of the bleepy synth work, I feel like you could feel maybe like, oh, those are some elements that could be in a psytrance tune. So yeah, all around a really cool track. Once again, shout out to Philip. Do let me know what you think. I will see you next time. Peace.